Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to have an eco-friendly Christmas. So I actually talked about this last year on my blog and I never filmed it, but it works out so I can film it this year. I actually filmed a lot of Christmas content last year. I will leave linked down below, as well as I already have some Christmas content that I filmed this year already. I will talk about those videos later in this video. But before we jump right in, one last thing I want to say. I might talk a little bit too fast for you. Please ignore Mochi. So if you'd like to read along, I'll leave the blog post linked down below. Or you can actually change the speed of this video using the gear icon right down here. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing I'd like to talk about is purchasing sustainable gifts. So you can do this in a number of ways. You can purchase things secondhand, you can make things yourself, you can purchase things from small businesses, or you can purchase things from zero waste stores. You can purchase things made from eco-friendly materials. There's a whole lot of things. I actually have two gift guides now. I have a gift guide that I made last year. There's a video and blog post version, both linked down below. And I have a gift guide that I already made this year. Leave that linked up here as well as down below, and a blog post version. So many gift guide options for you. Something else I'd like to mention when it comes to gifts is buying gifts intentionally. So don't just buy someone a gift that's junk. Don't just be like, oh, that's on sale, I'm gonna buy that for so-and-so. Actually think about it. Be like, will so-and-so use this gift? Will they cherish it for a long time? Will they use it for XYZ, and not just will they use it for one day and then throw it out. Something I like to do that's a little bit not traditional is tell people what I want, just because then they know that I'll actually use it for a long time. I actually just got off the phone with my mom, hi mom, and I gave her a list. I wasn't like, I only want this. I was like, here's 10 things. Feel free to choose one of those things for what I want. So that way it's still a surprise to me, but then she knows that that is an item I'll use for a long time. And then same for me. I don't know what to buy people either because I don't want to buy junk, so I'll ask people like, hey, what do you want? I know some people are against that, some people don't like that idea, but I do it anyway. Next is to use what you have for decoration. So this is coming out a little bit late. I mean, technically not the video. This blog post has been out for a year. So technically the blog post is not a little late, but the video is, unfortunately. Going to the store, the first day of November, just use what you have. And I know it's not trendy, but you can make your items trendy. If you have wooden items, you can paint them a different color. If you need new garland for your tree, you can make new garland out of oranges or gingerbread or popcorn. Or you can even organize a holiday decoration swap in your neighborhood. You can post on your neighborhood page. You could create a neighborhood page if something like that doesn't already exist and be like, hey everyone, on November 15th, December 1st, whatever day suits you guys best, we're gonna have a holiday decoration swap. And instead of everybody going out and buying brand new decorations and throwing out our old ones, we're all gonna swap to save the planet. The next tip is to eat more plant-based this year. Not entirely, maybe. If you can, good for you, but just eat a little bit more plant-based. If you can avoid the ham entirely, good for you. But if you can just do something as simple as swap your dairy butter for your plant-based butter, your dairy whipped cream for your plant-based whipped cream, good for you. I actually made an entire vegan Friendsgiving feast collaboration video with Coco Shin and Susie from Chew on That. I'll leave that video linked up here in their videos linked down below. It technically was for Thanksgiving, but you can use those recipes for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for Kwanzaa, for literally just about any holiday. You might not make pumpkin pies for Easter or 4th of July, but you can use a lot of those recipes throughout the whole year. And all of those recipes were plant-based too if you need some inspiration. The next tip is to try to avoid wrapping paper, specifically plastic-based wrapping paper, and buying new wrapping paper if you can. Obviously, it's great to upcycle things like brown paper that you got from a package you ordered, newspaper, even just reusing wrapping paper that you got from a gift. My personal favorite is to just buy someone like a bag, a scarf, a blanket, and then just wrap that. Use that to wrap their gifts, then it doubles as like an extra gift. And then that's actually a style of wrapping in Japan called furoshiki, just using a cloth to wrap your gift. And I think that is so cool because then you can use that cloth forever. Not to mention also avoiding things like plastic bows, plastic ribbons, extra glitter, all that sort of stuff. Typically can't be reused, cannot be recycled, and will just continue to break down into our water, into our environment forever. If you absolutely have to buy brand new wrapping paper, please don't buy plastic-based wrapping paper. Buy something like natural brown paper that can be composted or can be recycled. Or something else cool, I discovered a few brands that are actually really unique. There's this one brand that is actually made with seeds in it, so once you're done with it, you can plant it, and it actually grows wildflowers, which is pretty cool. Or there's this other brand called Raply, which is made from recycled newspapers, but instead of just being wrapped in newspaper because that's not some people's jam. I understand that. It's actually made with really, really beautiful prints so that way it's something very beautiful. So I'll leave those brands linked down below if you're interested in that. They're also linked in the blog post. Next is avoid wasteful games and traditions. And I talked about this in my how to have an eco-friendly Thanksgiving video. And this is just avoid silly games like wrapping dollar store junk in a ball of saran wrap and everybody goes around unwrapping the ball of saran wrap until they get their dollar store junk and then they throw thousands of feet of saran wrap into the landfill. I hate that game. Of course, you can take your eco-friendly spin on these wasteful games. That's always an option. Games like Secret Santa, White Elephant, those games are so much fun and you can definitely play them in a more eco-friendly fashion, like getting your gift secondhand, just decluttering your home and re-gifting things you already own, and other things like that. So the point is, try not to buy dollar store junk, try not to buy mass-produced items, and try to avoid plastic with these games as much as possible. Same with your decoration. When you're purchasing decoration, buy your decoration secondhand, or you can even make decoration yourself. So there is nothing wrong with buying new decoration, but if you have to, secondhand. So if you go to the thrift store in like October, early November, I guarantee you it's gonna be flooded with Christmas decoration because everyone's gonna be decluttering their stuff from last year and you can probably go and find some great deals at your local Goodwill. Same with January. I guarantee everyone's gonna be like, new year, new me, I have to declutter. Bunch of Christmas stuff is gonna be there so you can stock up for the next year. And not just your local thrift store either. You can check Facebook Marketplace, eBay, especially this year in the world of COVID. Online shopping is great and online thrift shopping has become a big thing too in the last few years. Again, I mentioned this in the how to have a low waste Thanksgiving video, but try to make food from scratch instead of buying like plastic wrapped dough and plastic wrapped break and bakes. Well, that stuff of course is convenient, especially if you have like a big family and a lot of kids. Definitely do what you need to do, but if you have the time, try to make stuff from scratch if possible. Try to make your own advent calendar because a lot of advent calendars come in a lot of plastic, like a lot of plastic. You can actually make a lot of really fun advent calendars for yourself, for your children. You can wrap them in natural brown paper that you can then compost or recycle. And there are so many ideas floating around on the internet. Just do a quick Pinterest search for DIY advent calendar. I've seen people do this too. They just go and thrift like 25 books for their children, wrap them in brown paper, label them 1 through 25, and then that's their advent calendar. And then it's a great read for their children as well. Another fun thing to do is to make your own holiday scents. Instead of buying a bunch of candles, a bunch of holiday spritzes, sprays, you can just make a bunch of natural scents yourself. And not to mention, a lot of them are consumable too. You can make mulled wine, cider, spiced cranberry juice. You can even just use natural essential oils and water just to spray around your house in a spray bottle. And you can even just boil some orange peels and cinnamon sticks on the stove for a few hours and it'll get your house smelling like the holidays and it smells so good. And it's completely natural, typically free, and typically you're utilizing food waste too, and then you can compost it all as well. The next tip is to unplug your Christmas lights when they're not in use, please. This is like leaving your kitchen light on when you go to bed. Like when we walk our dog at 4:30 a.m., I see so many houses in my neighborhoods with their Christmas lights on. I know you're not awake. At least I know not that many people in my neighborhood are awake at 4:30 a.m. And if you are, why are you taking the time out of your morning to plug in your Christmas lights? I know I'm not. If you're enjoying your Christmas lights, sure, plug them in. But when you're done enjoying them, when you're going to bed, put that on your to-do list. Like brush my teeth, tuck the kids in bed, unplug the Christmas tree. Not only is this gonna save you money, save energy for the earth, but it's also good because it could be a potential fire hazard as well, just saying. Next tip is when buying new Christmas lights, buy LEDs or solar powered. I know they make solar powered lights for outside, but if you're buying indoor lights, I don't know if they specify if they're indoor or outdoor, but buy LEDs instead of like the traditional non-LEDs? What are they called? Anyway, they're more energy efficient, therefore better for the environment because they use less energy, duh. Also, along those lines, if you have a bulb burnout, just buy a replacement bulb. A lot of strands actually do come with a few replacement bulbs in their pack, so that way you don't have to throw out the whole strand and buy a new strand. You can just replace the bulb. It might take a little hunting to find the burnt out bulb, which is a pain. But if it saves you some money, it saves some electronic waste, which is a huge burden on the earth. Do it. Just take the 5-10 minutes out of your day to do that. Not to mention, once your strand is completely pooped out, because it does happen to every strand at some point, make sure you're disposing of it properly. There is this site I will leave linked down below. It's called holidayleds.com. So creative, but you can actually send your strands of holiday lights to them and they will recycle them responsibly, instead of sending your electronic waste to the landfill. Make your own holiday decor or source your holiday decor from local artists. So I've made a lot of my own holiday decor. Can you see it? Yes, this. I made this myself. I made this in my last video about making my own holiday decor. I don't know if I have any more cards left, but I'll link the video up there. I've made a lot of other stuff myself, and I actually sourced that wood from the garbage. Low waste. But if you don't have an artistic bone in your body, you can definitely just reach out to local artists. You can search on Etsy, that sort of stuff, especially if you can find artists who are sourcing their supplies responsibly. I didn't mention this in my real versus fake tree video very well. I didn't touch on this very well in my video, so I thought I'd touch on it now. Don't buy real trees if you can source a fake tree secondhand. I totally forgot to mention that. I can't believe that escaped my mind. Clearly, buying a fake tree secondhand is the most eco-friendly. If you can't find a secondhand fake tree, then buying a real tree is your most eco-friendly option. But if you can't, don't cut down a real tree. Let him keep sequestering carbon. If you'd like to find more out about real trees versus fake trees and their environmental impacts on the planet, again, I need to keep better track. I might be out of cards. If I am out of options up here, it's linked down below. So sorry. But basically, if you do end up getting a real tree, be sure to dispose of it responsibly. Don't throw it in the landfill because that will create methane. Be sure to burn it, use it as firewood, use it for arts and crafts, or if you live in a big city, a lot of big cities have like a mulching day after Christmas. Look up when your big city's mulching day is. But moral of the story is don't send your tree to landfill, whether it's fake or not. And of course, if you have an artificial tree, do not throw it away, especially if it's not broken. Do not buy a new one every year. That is extremely wasteful, and I talk more about that in that video. I'm not going to dive into it here. Don't buy random decor every year just because it's trendy. Just because the trends change every year doesn't mean you need to buy decor every year. I talk about this in my Christmas anti-haul from last year. Happy anti-holidays. When you do buy new decor, because everyone has to buy decor when they buy their first home, buy decorations that are timeless, that are going to last you for a long time, that are good quality. That way you don't have to buy decorations every single year. Don't buy brand new, quote, ugly sweaters that are single use, that are fast fashion. I have a lot to say, and I'm gonna try to keep this brief. Basically, they're mass produced, they're probably made out of polyester, probably made in sweatshops, made unethically. I could stop it there. But the tradition also stemmed from them being actually ugly. You would just go through your grandma's, your great aunt's closet, and you would find an actual ugly sweater. And it was a fun tradition. Now the trend is to go to Walmart, to go to Target, and to find an ugly sweater, but they're actually cute. Like they got like a reindeer on it, and then you're supposed to be like the reindeer. They got an elf, they got like a cute saying, and they're actually supposed to be like cute now. They're not actually ugly. So that's what I don't get. And then people buy a new one every single year, or multiple per year, because you can't wear an ugly sweater this week and then you can't wear the same ugly sweater this week that you wore last week, because then that's just not okay. That's just fashion disaster. That goes along with the next tip, because the next tip is don't buy new clothes just to wear for one day. If you've got like a big holiday party coming up, you've got your work Christmas party, don't just buy a fancy outfit just to wear for that one day. Sure, you can go out and buy a new outfit, but buy an outfit that you can wear throughout the rest of the year. Don't just buy an outfit that's gonna collect dust until next year's holiday party. You know what I mean? Buy a multi-purpose outfit. And then also become a proud outfit repeater. So like, yeah, this is Christmassy because it's like burgundy, but I can also continue to wear this in January, February, and March because it's multi-purpose. Okay, the next tip. I know a lot of people are gonna hate this one, but don't send holiday cards. I know holiday cards are very popular, but I'm gonna offer you some suggestions. What we have done in the past, because we love creating videos, is we make video e-cards to send, and we don't send it, we just put it on Facebook. So that way people can still be like, oh my gosh, look how cute they are, happy holidays, you know. Or this year, because we don't have time to go out and film a video, I'm just gonna make an e-card on Canva. Canva is a free, this isn't sponsored, Canva is a free graphic design tool. You can plug in your family photos, you can add Santa hats, you can add wreaths, all different sorts of fonts, all sorts of colors. It's a really, really great free tool. And then you can just make an e-card and you can put it on Facebook for everybody to see. And that way you're creating no waste, because you really have to think about the shipping waste, your money waste, that thick paper. That paper is so thick. The paper, the envelope, the stamp, the emissions being sent, because those envelopes, the paper has to be sent to you. Then it has to be sent to all those people. Not to mention, think about how many Christmas cards you've gotten. How many have you kept? The answer is probably 0. If it's not 0, it's probably less than 10. It's not something that you hold on to and cherish for years because it's a piece of paper, especially in the age of technology where I see my family every single day on FaceTime and Snapchat. It was something great decades ago when we didn't see our family every single day via social media. Ugh. I hate Christmas cards, honestly. So if that's something that you can avoid this year because of the waste, I encourage you to avoid those. Next, don't buy gingerbread kits. I get they are very convenient if you have kids, but if you can avoid them, please avoid them. If you can make them yourself, do that, because they come with so much plastic. They come themselves in a plastic box with like a plastic thing they all sit in. Each little candy comes in a plastic bag with the plastic squeezy thing, with the plastic this and this and this. Not to mention they don't even taste good. Like, you can't even eat them without breaking a tooth. Definitely just make one yourself if you have to have one. And if you just can avoid making one, just go without. Next is don't go in debt for anybody this Christmas. Christmas is not worth going in debt for anybody. Christmas has evolved into being a season of giving gifts, and it shouldn't be, even if you're not religious. It should not be a season that we spend all of our money on. It's not worth it because of the hyper consumerism involved within the holidays. It just encourages us to spend more money throughout the rest of the year, which means making more waste. So the less money we use, the less waste we produce. Try not to buy single-use platters, single-use plates, single-use cutlery. If you didn't know, we produce 25% more waste from Halloween to New Year's. That is the stuff we buy, like from Black Friday. That is the stuff we buy, like to eat off of, and it really all adds up. It's estimated that 1.7 million pie tins are manufactured every year in North America alone. And that is probably just from like Thanksgiving and Christmas, honestly. At least the most part, because that's when a lot of pies are consumed. So if you can help it, try to use the already like glass and ceramic pie tins you probably already have sitting in your kitchen. Borrow one from a friend, thrift one to use throughout the rest of the years. If you can use one yourself, try to convince your family members, your friends to use one. Same goes with plates, cups, dishes, forks, spoons, all that sort of stuff. If you can't convince them to do that, try to convince them to use compostable versions instead of using plastic styrofoam versions, just because it's a step up. It's not the greatest, but it's definitely better than plastic and styrofoam. Along those lines is just don't use excess plastic in general. You can avoid things like shopping bags, avoid receipts, avoid bows, avoid tissue paper, all that sorts of stuff. Just try to avoid extra plastic during this time as much as possible, because obviously we're living in a hyper-consumeristic world. It's hard to avoid 100% plastic, so try to avoid as much plastic as you can. And then the last tip is to not stress about your waste. It's as simple as that. It's a happy tip. Try not to let eco-anxiety kill the holiday vibes. Just do your best. If you can only implement one of these tips, awesome. Like I already end all of my videos, your small changes really do make a big impact. If the only thing you can do is to support a zero waste brand, good for you. If the only thing you can do is to convince your family to eat off of reusable dishes, that's great. If you can implement every single one of your tips, awesome. The point is, I applaud you for doing your best. Very, very hard to live a low waste lifestyle throughout the rest of the year, let alone during the most wasteful time of the year, which that's really sad that is what this time of the year has become. The point is that you're trying. This year has already been hard. Don't make the holidays stressful. The holidays are a time to relax and slow down, spend time with your family and eat good food and enjoy the gift and enjoy the music and the hot cocoa and the lights. Like, don't worry about your waste. Reduce your waste a little bit if you can, but don't make that your priority. Please don't stress out about it. This video was supposed to be like a little bit of an anti-haul, a little bit of fun, just to give you some tips, some general ideas. So I hope that this was fun. I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that this sparked some interest. If you learned anything from this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on it. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you learned something from it. Thank you for watching this. If you learned anything valuable, I hope that you share this with others in time for the holidays, in the hopes that they learned something from this video as well. If you have any more tips for how to live a more eco-conscious Christmas, definitely leave them down below. I would love to hear them. That is all I have for this video. I'm wishing you a happy Christmas, happy rest of your holiday season throughout the rest of 2020. Wow, we are really coming up on the end of the year. We got like 3 weeks left. Yeehaw. But that is all I have. I really appreciate your time. And until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye, guys. Last year, why am I scratching my forehead? I'm talking to the camera. Especially for Christmas, throughout December. Where was I going? I already said everything. I wanted to say with this. Why am I continuing? Use it for local arts. Local arts? What does that mean? It's a really, really great free tool. I can't believe it's free. I can't believe it's not butter.